Hey guys, Katie here, and today I am talking about Dark Eden by Chris Beckett. I've been looking forward to talking about this book for so long that I almost don't know where to start. If you remember, I picked up Dark Eden specifically because of the cover, and it is very pretty. You can't deny. But the actual story itself was really interesting, and I was really blown away by the plot and by how things turned out and everything. Just overall, I really enjoyed this book. This was a buddy read with Elena from Books&Bears and Lisa at My Book World 2, and it was so fantastic. I really loved it, and I hope to buddy read with them again soon. They're both wonderful. So I'll tell you a little bit about this book in case you want to know. It is about a group of people. There are about 500 of them living on a planet called Eden. The story goes that 160 years ago or so, a woman and man, Angela and Tommy, were stranded on Eden. For some reason they decide to, make babies, and then their babies make babies, and there's a ton of incest, just a ton. But eventually it becomes the 532 some people in what they call family, which is basically everyone who lives there. The story focuses on a character named John Red Lantern. He is a new heir, or someone who's young. He's about 15 at the beginning of the book. A few things that I really enjoyed about this book. One, the setting is beautiful. The description of Eden is basically that it doesn't have a sun, and all of the plants and animals produce their own light. So everything is lit up, trees, plants. There are these creatures called woolly bugs that have lanterns on their head. What really got me about it was that it's really foreign, it's really alien, and so it feels like another planet versus, TV shows like Stargate when they'd go to another planet and it would look just like Canada. Another interesting thing about this book is the language, and I think I already mentioned this in another video and you heard a little bit about it before, but they have sort of evolved English to the point where they say things a little bit differently. Every year they celebrate an anniversary, and it's anniversary. It's like their birthday sort of being in Eden. There were some words, and I can't actually remember what they were now, that I honestly was like, what does that even mean? I don't know where they got it from. And something that I found really interesting about this book is that I felt like a lot of it was really unexpected. The plot of the story really follows John Red Lantern as he takes these actions that change family forever, basically, and every step of the way I felt like, what could possibly happen next? So I felt a lot of surprise, and that was really interesting. The story is told from different perspectives. There are a lot of different people in here. It's mostly John Red Lantern and Tina Spike Tree, but everyone really gets a turn, including like the leader of family, and they all have the same tone and they have the same voice, and so at times it was hard to differentiate between who was speaking. But I think in talking to Elena, she pointed out that part of what's happening in family is that they're trying so hard to stick to one way of being, that everyone is similar, maybe too similar, and that's why they all have the same voice. So that made sense to me, but it was a little bit off-putting at first. Something else that I think is really interesting in this book is that the leaders of family have been, since the beginning, women. And so when things start to change and shift a little bit and men take control, there's this implication that it's not a good thing. It's a really interesting sort of feminist perspective, because they were trying to survive, and clearly they were trying to create a civilization, a society of people. And I told you there was earlier on a lot of incest. There is a ton of sex. Like, sexuality is just what it is. People are out there having sex with whoever they want. Nobody has a dad. People only have mothers, and even then those connections are really loose because they consider everyone in family to be a family. So having no idea what I was walking into, and finding, in the first couple of chapters, John is just walking around and some lady's like, hey, you wanna have sex with me? And he says, sure, and they have sex, and it's not a big deal, and she wants to have a baby, so she's like, I'm gonna try really hard to have a baby because you are cool and good at stuff. I hope I've said all the things that I meant to say. This has been such a long time coming that it's hard to know if I fit it all in. I guess my bottom line is it's really imaginative, it's a very alien setting that's really exciting. I think the characters are interesting, and I think we've established by this point in my videos that character growth is really important to me, and there is a ton of character growth in this book. It's about people changing, and they change a lot. I think this book is really good for people who like sci-fi, because if you don't like sci-fi, you may be put off by it. So sci-fi fans, maybe even fantasy, it's a little bit different, so be prepared to deal with a kind of different dialect and things like that. I remember seeing on Goodreads that put people off, and I don't know why. It wasn't that difficult, but you know, I'm me, they're them. So if you're interested in a really unique sci-fi book, I think you should read Dark Eden by Chris Beckett, and I'm really looking forward to reading anything else he writes. That's about it from me. I will see you guys later. Bye!